How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to be basically answering every single question that you're probably asking for this game when it comes to Zenless Zone Zero and the CBT3 that we currently are in. And I spent literally all day yesterday playing, and this is why I'm able to show you a lot of the really cool things that we have in the game currently and with Zenless. And first of all, that is already one change I already hinted at basically, which before we get into that, make sure to leave us like, a sub, a comment as well, and let me know whatever characters you want when it comes to summoning on them, or which characters you want to see when it comes to Zenless, because there's so many great characters and how they look, Ambi being by far one of my personal favorites. But going into it, yes, let's go ahead and answer one question, because if I played all day yesterday, how is that so? Because of the stamina system that we did have earlier, which is, does story do regular missions still take stamina? And the answer to that is no. They actually removed the stamina requirement for story missions for a lot of these event missions when it comes to the Explore tab, the Story tab, and also the Combat tab. All of these don't take stamina and all are on a first clear basis. So you still get the XP, you still get the rewards, but there is no stamina attached to it, which is a really great thing for the game for sure, because it's allowed me to play literally all day yesterday and got me to level 29, which was not possible in the last beta, because you did have to make a choice. Either you were going to level up your characters and get resources to level them up or ascend them, or you were going to play the story. There was kind of no doing both, because they both were tied to stamina. And now that only resources in the game, similar to how all the Hoyo games are, with the resources being done with stamina, with the story and all that type of stuff not taking stamina, is basically the same thing that Genshin and Star Rail have, which is a really great thing in my opinion, and allows you to play for a little bit longer and allows you to not have to waste and choose and pick either if you're going to play the story or if you're going to do resources. So I think that's a really great change that they added already. So going into the next one, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you are already looking forward to, is the banners we're going to be getting in Zenless Zone Zero. And right now we do have 4 banners at the very start of the game in beta, and it does look a little bit daunting. I will be explaining every single one of these banners and also this new banner, which I don't think we've ever had in all the previous games for Hoyo, because we don't have this in Genshin, we don't have this in Star Rail. And even to those that know about Honkai Impact in the Elf system or the Astral Op system, I play it too, we don't have this in that game either. And no, it's not the Elf banner and the Astral Op banner, because those banners use premium currency. This banner does not. This banner is tied to a event or also a daily login or some type of level up so that you can get this currency, but we will be talking about that in a quick moment. Going on to the limited banner and the weapon banner, these are both very akin to the Star Rail version of it, with the limited banner being 90 pulls, 50-50, you know, typical Hoyo gacha. And the same thing with the weapon banner, we also have it akin to Star Rail's, whereas the 75-25 at an 80 pity, which I'm very glad that we got this at least. But there is a competitor on the horizon which we do need to talk about, which is Wuthering Waves, and their weapon banner is actually a 100% guaranteed weapon after you hit pity. So I wonder if Wuthering Waves comes out and then Zenless comes out after, or maybe Zenless comes out before. We have zero idea if that's going to come or happen, but I wonder if they're going to change it to match Wuthering Waves with their guaranteed weapon banner, because honestly, that's a very crazy thing to look at, that Wuthering Waves is going to have a guaranteed banner after pity, while Zenless Zone Zero is going to be going about 75-25 route when you hit max pity. So we'll have to wait and see, but yes, this is similar to Star Rail's version of the weapon banner. Going into the next one, which is the standard banner, which is actually a really great change which they made to the beginner banner aspect of this. The first thing for the standard banner is that you will be guaranteed a 5-star after 5 multis, just like how it is in Star Rail with the beginner banner, and it is discounted. Now, the main thing that I really enjoy that they made as a change is that 98 of those pulls, as you see from the bottom right, and yes, we do have a 5-star selector for you to choose one out of these 6 standard banner characters that there are at the current moment. When it comes to Grace, Rina, Coleta, Nekomata, Soldier 11, and Lycan, you can pick any one of these after 300 pulls, and your beginner banner pulls get transferred into the pity of the standard banner. So that allows you to get the 300 selector out of the way, and honestly very quickly. I can't believe I'm already at 98 pulls when it comes to using the beginner banner, which is already 50 of those pulls, and then I did 4 multis after, which got me the 98. So this is a really cool thing to look at when it comes to the pity transferring over, because the beginner banner is the standard banner, and it allows you to get that 5-star selector super quick, which is a really great change. I like it. It stops the dead space of a banner when you do get your 5-star early on the beginner banner, and you just leave it there because you're not building your pity in the standard banner, when you could have if you just went ahead and multi on it. So the fact that the beginner banner is in the standard banner and it carries the pity into the selector, really great things from Zenless for sure. Now to talk about the Bang Boo banner, which is something we have not seen in a Hoyo game as far as my knowledge, to be honest, because this currency cannot be bought. This currency cannot be exchanged for premium currency and go ahead and summon on this banner until you get the Bang Boo, because this currency is actually only able to be bought or able to be gotten from 4-star dupes, which you don't get a lot of when it comes to the materials that you're going to be getting, because for the most part you are going to be getting these, which give you the master tapes, which give you the signature weapon for all the standard characters, which is a really great change as well, that they added the weapons. Just like Star Wars, where they have the light cones for all the standard banner units, they have something similar as well, with all the W engines being here for all of the standard banner characters. And you also have the 2 rotating characters and the film that you can use to summon. These come from 4-star dupes from my understanding, and with this being given out as well, you don't get a lot of these because you mainly get these materials right here to be able to buy the tape and to be able to buy the weapons for the 5 stars. These are 4-star dupe currency buyables, and honestly buying these Bang Boo coins honestly costs a lot of them for you to be able to buy them out and go ahead and keep molting. So unless you're spending an absurd amount of money to get those 4-star dupes, you aren't really going to be buying these Bang Boo coins as often. And the way to get these without buying this is actually to grind out Holo Zero, rally commissions, and also events, whether it comes to first time clears, and also you do see it in your internaut level ups as well. As you can see right here in the proxy primer, we can see that we do get right there on the 3rd mission, complete Old Capital Metro Edge in Holo Zero once, we actually got one of the Bang Boo coins. And not only that, you do get it in the battle pass as well, which they did add a battle pass where you see the Bang Boo coin as well on level 13. And this is very akin to Star Rails and Genshin's battle pass, a bunch of materials. So far we don't see anything crazy as in terms of a resin remodeler so far, but we'll have to wait and see when we get further into the battle pass. And that's basically it for the Bang Boo banner. Now the thing that is a little concerning is that when you look at this banner versus Honkai Impact's Elf banner or their Astral Op banner, now we don't have it to where it's locked behind a grindable currency. We have it to where you use premium currency, which honestly it's fine. I guess you could say that they made it a grindable currency that everyone kind of gets the same amount of pulls for. But the main thing that is an issue, or something that I'm looking at, and hopefully this isn't the last draft of the Bang Boo banner, which is this banner is a 75-25. This is a 75, you may get the Bang Boo, 25% you are getting a standard Bang Boo. And that's a little bit weird coming from Honkai Impact, where when you hit max pity, you're guaranteed the elf, you're guaranteed the Astral Op character. So it's a little weird that they did make this one not guaranteed after a certain amount of pity, when we have a similar system in Honkai Impact and they chose to make it a 75-25 split. Hopefully, in my honest opinion, they change this to be a guaranteed Bang Boo for a optional, you know, side buddy, because these guys do help you in battle and you can chain attack off them, which is really cool. But 4-stars are able to do the same thing as well. I have that penguin right there as the 4-star that we have featured on this banner as well, and he's doing absolute work with my ice team because he does ice damage. There's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with these banners. I hopefully will see a Bang Boo change, because it being grindable, it's cool. But the fact that if I lose the 75-25 for that patch, are you gonna tell me I can't get the Bang Boo anymore because I lost the 75-25 and now I'm stuck and I can't grind anymore because all the events are gone, the Holo Zero awards are up, and all that different type of stuff? I don't know. Very weird thing for the Bang Boo, in my honest opinion, banner. We haven't seen this in Hoyo's games, in my honest opinion, for a currency you can't literally buy. So this is weird. I hopefully will see some changes to this banner, but we'll have to wait and see. Other than that, there are a couple of things we do need to go over that are new to the game. We do have a commission system for the dailies. These dailies are super easy. They don't take any time to do, in all honesty, and they give you your XP and your pulls, all the different type of stuff. Nothing really wild about that one. We also have co-op in the game, which I think is a really cool thing that they added this. There is a multiplayer chance on the bottom right. You can go ahead and matchmake it with people, and right now in beta, it is a little bit hard to matchmake at the current moment, and they are looking for changes, which they made a post on Twitter talking about wanting feedback and talking about this. I definitely will be getting with other people, trying to play the co-op, and be making some feedback for you all, and maybe showcase that as well on the channel. So the fact that we have co-op, really great thing. This is something in the right direction that we really want to push forward, because this can open up some really fun and really cool game modes really cool survival based, round based type of modes. Oh my god, would this be such a godsend to have in Zenless, because the combat in this game is just absolutely amazing. I can just tell y'all that right now. The combat in this game is so beautiful, and it's so fun to play with every single second that you spend on this game. And going into the last thing, which is the final question, which a lot of people are probably wondering about: is there TV still in Zenless Zone Zero? Now, I do want to take this in a two-part answer, because honestly it can't be summed up in one. In the first portion of the game, coming from the tutorial all the way to the first chapter of the story, you do have to deal with a fair amount of TVs. I won't lie to you. I will be as honest as I can. You do spend your time, a lot of the time, in those first two chapters, spending a lot of time in the TVs. It's just, that's gonna be the way it has to be, because they're teaching you a lot of the mechanics, and there's not a lot of dead space TVs. Now, this is where I go into my next portion of it, which is after chapter 1 of the story, the TVs become almost non-existent. The TVs go down to such a considerable rate, lower than what they were before, that you're usually spending like 80,000 fights playing the game and maybe one TV in the middle, and then now you're playing 80,000 again. Like, there's just so much combat now, and they did bring up the frequency of combat in those TVs, which is a really great thing that they did. And for the most part, a lot of the missions in the game at the current moment, especially because we have so many modes that don't deal with TVs, when it comes to some of the explored missions, some of the story doesn't take TVs anymore. The combat is strictly, and I mean strictly, no TVs. And same with the rally commissions, also strictly no TVs. We even have an endgame mode as well, which is REHOO Defense. This is the MOC of the game, and this also doesn't use TVs. There's so many modes now and so many other things that you can do in this game that put you straight into the combat and no TVs whatsoever. If I had to say the mode that has the most TVs, it would definitely be the story. And I think chapter 1 and chapter 2 at the current moment of the story do hold a good bit of TVs, because the TVs are kind of connectedly directed with the story. But for the most part, after you beat the tutorial and after you beat chapter 1, you don't have to deal with TVs almost at all. It's so little, to the point where you are doing 20 to 30 combat modes back to back to back to back to back. Then you get into the TV once, and maybe it's a 1-minute TV or a 30-minute TV puzzle, and then you go back to back to back to back to back combat. I really like that they lowered the TV amount by such an enormous margin, because you can definitely see it if you play CBT2 up until CBT3. There is a huge change in the amount of combat that you're doing now versus the amount of TVs that you were doing back then. And this is such a great change. I do want to say, although it kind of sounds mean, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it, I do hope they just get rid of the TV system slightly more and put it only in pivotal parts, or put it in more events as a mini game, or basically just leave it in Hollow Zero and call it that, because I do think the combat in this game is definitely what's going to push this game to be absolutely amazing and be the shining light for this game to be casted above all the other games. Because the combat in this game is so good, it's so interactive, it has really nice combo systems, being really the freedom to be able to do what you want in those combos and just have really great synergies with these characters. It's just so many great things that they have in this game, and I really want this game to shine. I want this game to do well. I just want them to take away more of the TVs, even though there's basically none. Go ahead and take more of them out. But other than that, that's pretty much it. We got the gacha system done. A lot of the new changes that they did bring in regards to the stamina. We have the MOC that I did show you earlier, which is REHOO Defense. This is what I'm assuming is the MOC, because as you see is the one stage right here. And then we also do have 10 stages, which of course, as you may know, this is usually the end for REHOO Defense. There are 3 other tabs hidden as well, so I have no idea what that is for. Hopefully I can get farther in the game as well to be able to see what they got later on in the end game. I'm getting pretty close to it, in all honesty, when it comes to the end game loop, with getting 5-star relics very soon and all that different type of stuff. So if you're excited for more Zenless news, more Zenless content, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for basically supporting me. I'm sorry I've been gone for a minute, but other than that, thank you all you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, sub, all the different types of stuff. See y'all in the next one, and peace.